Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. If you don't know who this is Dr. Mark Abraham, the president and CEO of MEA Consulting Services LLC. And you are on the line with the number one speaker in the world. And I'm so excited. This is an impromptu meeting. This is
Great.
impromptu. We weren't expecting to do this, and we just showed up. I'm excited. I have my good friend, my big little sister here, Penny Sia Berry from PLC Associates. She's an amazing educator, and we're excited to present this offering that we will be having on February 3rd. Penny, you want to talk about it a little bit and have a few words to say?
Yes, of course. And I think Mark did enough good afternoons for all of us. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad that you could join us. This is such an important upcoming event. We had our last Student Success Summit in November, and we had the absolute pleasure and honor of having 7,000 students plus attend. Yay. And I think one of the most amazing things as a result of that, we had students texting and building plans, action plans, telling us exactly what they were going to do with the great strategies that Mark shared. So we thought, as we plan for our February 3rd session of the summit, that it might be helpful to all of you to hear a little bit more about what happened in November, that great event, and what you can expect upcoming in February. So PLC Associates, just a little bit about who we are. Like Mark, we travel around the country and have the pleasure of working with so many schools, moving them into better standing and enhanced student results. I think to point, it's 27 states and over 2,000 schools. So, yes. And Mark, I think you're fast chasing that number, if I'm correct, as I hear about your travel schedule. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I go back to, I guess, my big brother, Dr. Mark. Mark.
So go ahead.
I
I
guess
say, as people are watching this, hit the share button, hit the like button. We're getting some energy. We're impromptu, so this wasn't planned. This is something that we said we got to jump on. And Penny, I just want to say this: we have over 3,000 students already registered for this event, right? Is that the case?
that's the case.
Wow.
We're so excited. And we're hearing from the teachers too. So the teachers are there with the students and going through the summit. So afterward, they're able to guide them and pick up on certain concepts as they go through their various classes. So it's really nice to have that whole school support wrap around. The principals are making morning announcements saying, this is up and coming, let's get ready. It's a great, outstanding event. It's geared for our students. This is definitely for our students. So Mark, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. And this is totally unplanned. So we're going to put Mark on the spot. Let's see how he does on the fly, Dr. Mark Abraham. So looking at our November event, what would you say as you reflect were some of the most memorable components?
Oh man, honestly, the fact that you know talking to you and really thinking about like what we're trying to do to help kids inspire them and motivate them and creating an idea on the back of like a brown paper bag and saying, hey, what can we do to actually help kids, because we're hearing so many kids that are frustrated. For young people, if you think about this, young people, the suicide rate is up for young people. Young people are struggling right now in schools. And so we said, well, what can we do to give them some inspiration and some hope? And we put this plan together, and 7,500 people showed up to the first event. We're getting ready to launch the second one, and over 3,000 kids, 3,000 young people have an opportunity to get inspired and to get motivated and to really, really just like, I want to get back on fire for education. It was amazing. And not only did the kids get inspired, teachers were inspired. We got notes from kids, high school students and middle school students saying, this is what I want to be when I grow up, and I'm back charged up, and I want to get a good education, and I want to be successful. And on top of that, so many kids hit me on Instagram afterwards and was like, "Yo, I want a hoodie, I want a sweatshirt. This is what I want." So it was, I mean, thinking back on it, we had to do another one just because it was so amazing the first time.
Mhm. And what would you say to our principals in terms of paving the way for this event? As school leaders, and they're in the position of leading the charge. We're coming out of the pandemic, thankfully, and getting very much on track. And you're right. Our students really could use definitely a boost, but not just a boost, Mark. I remember one of the things that you said at the summit was, without planning and preparation and really being steadfast around exactly what is my path to that ultimate dream,
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to get there. So I love the fact that you gave our students, our teachers, and the administrators real specifics that I thought were pretty revealing. So, what would you say again to principals for potentially involving their school? What can they expect?
I think what you will get out of this is what they got the first time. A dynamic presentation that is guaranteed to get your kids motivated and engaged. And here's what I always say: inspiration and motivation without information and proper application is going to lead to frustration. What does that mean? Your young people will have practical steps. Not only going to be inspired, not only going to be motivated, but they're going to have practical things on what they need to do to actually have success starting the day they hear it. I'm a product of urban education. I graduated high school illiterate. I am now a doctor that has two master's degree and a bachelor's degree, and I travel around the country helping people create success models. So young people will walk out of this session completely transformed, completely motivated, but they will also have some practical skills on what they need to do to have success. So we're gonna give them that motivation, that inspiration, and then we'll give them that information and proper application, and that's how you create success.
And I think it goes without saying what a great model you are. I have to be a little bit embarrassing, for a moment, but it's very true. Just what you've come through, all the challenges. Everyone has challenges. I had a chance during the summit to share some information around my path to being the CEO of a fairly large consultancy, and it was unheard of. Early on when I started the company, and I started very early. It's 30 years, 30 years having the company. No one would help me. No one would talk to me. There were people that were there to mentor with one of the associations that I belonged to, but I found out very quickly that people slammed the doors when it
Mm,
was time to, help me on that path. I had
wow.
no idea, how to take those positive steps forward, how much this would have helped me. So it was sheer grit and courage that pushed through. But I think how fortunate our students are to have something that Mark calls, and I want you to talk about this, Mark, the student success path. The student success path. Talk about it, Mark.
Right. So I mean, listen, Penny is so right, and Penny humbly says she's like a fairly large. Penny is amazing. She's one of the largest associates consulting groups in the country. I mean, she says she touched over what 50. How many schools have you reached, Penny? Over 1,000 schools.
Just over 2,000.
2,000 schools in a women-owned business in a time 30 years ago when they weren't letting women be CEOs, right? You're listening to a man who has come from so much trauma, so much abuse, that is standing here or sitting here right now and giving kids the blueprint on the strategies that I've learned over years of trial and error on how to actually create success for themselves. I mean,
Mhm.
it's really, we call it the 10 steps to success. If you follow these 10 steps, I guarantee you your young people will have success. So if you're a parent and you're hearing this, call your school right now, send them the YouTube video, say, I want my kid at the success model. I want that kid getting the success formula, the secret sauce to success. If you are an administrator, assistant principal, a teacher, say we need this for our school. We need this for our district. We need this. This is something that is a necessity because we have so many young people that are feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, I'm burnt out. They're feeling this pain, they're feeling the stress, they're feeling the fatigue of COVID, the COVID fatigue. But now is the time that we motivate them. Now is the time to say they have to finish strong. We got to finish strong. We got to get over the hump. We got to graduate. We got to have success because oftentimes the difference between graduating high school and not graduating high school is a few decisions. And I know I used to be a high school principal and we had an 87% graduation rate and 94% graduation rate for black males, but we took it from a 60% because every day I was telling my young people that they are what success looks like, that it is possible for them and they have to believe in themselves and they will be able to accomplish it. So, principal, register today, register your school. Parent, call your school. I need my baby in there. I don't care black, white, or indifferent. I don't care what color. I need my child to know what it takes to be successful. I don't care who you are, politician. If you're watching this, you need to tell your district, we need this immediately for our school.
I can see the passion. I'm sure everyone else can. And, you know, to our schools and all of you who are attending this kind of quick chat, we're here to compliment you. We know schools and we know how busy teachers are, you know, developing instructional
Penny,
strategies.
can you hear me, Penny?
I can hear you.
I think you're muted.
Says not.
So
but why don't you go ahead, Mark?
I think we might have difficulties on Penny's side, but hey, no fret. Listen, February 3rd, it is going down at 10 a.m. February 3rd at 10 a.m. The registration will be in the link. Make sure that you're there. Make sure that you have your school there. Call, email, text. Do what you have to do to make sure that your school is present. Again, this is Dr. Mark Abraham, President and CEO of MEA Consulting Services, LLC, the fastest growing consulting company in the country. And you just had an opportunity to listen to one of the number one speakers in the world. I can't wait to see you February 3rd. It's going to be amazing. See you then. Peace.